Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to NBA Weekly, where we discuss all the big storylines of the week. And um, let's take a moment of silence. The Lakers are, forgive me for the audio interference. Hold on, I can turn this on. Hold on. Okay, can you guys hear me better? Sweet. So, welcome to the second episode of NBA Weekly. Again, like I was saying, let's take a moment of silence because the Lakers are out of the playoffs, and that is one threat that the teams don't have to worry about anymore. And yeah, so I'm gonna go on a rant right now about them because I am pissed. They suck right now, bro. And I mean, I am above myself. How I am mad, dude. Like I am actually physically mad. I do not. I don't know what the heck. It when AD got injured, it almost felt like he was the center of the team. It literally was not even funny. This was probably one of those games where I almost died because I'm like, why the hell isn't LeBron doing anything? Or why? I mean, let's run through these numbers right now. Okay, let's go for the first topic. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Lakers fall apart. AD is the center of the team. I mean, wait, what the? Hold on, guys. I don't know what's happening with my green screen, but there we go. Okay, Lakers fall apart. Let's run through the numbers. Okay, this is how bad this team was. Marc Gasol, 18 minutes, 0 points. Okay. Kyle Kuzma, 18 minutes, 2 points. We lost by 13 points, 113 to 100, keep in mind. Markieff Morris, 16 minutes, 2 points. Okay? Those were the three bad players that I don't know what the heck they were doing, but those were the three really bad players that didn't do too well. Okay? LeBron, 29 points. I think he played like 40 minutes or something like that. That wasn't bad. But again, we lost by 13 freaking points. Okay? That is not that if Kyle Kuzma would have just lived up to his expectations like he's supposed to do, if he would have just lived up to his expectations, we would have not been sitting here saying the Lakers lost 4-2. Okay? Because he's supposed to be a guy in the first round. We drafted him in the first round. He is supposed to be a guy who is, when AD gets injured, who is supposed to be a guy who scores 15, 16 a night. Okay? I was pissed. I was absolutely pissed at this loss. We didn't want this game. We didn't try in this game. We just absolutely flat out was bad. And the reason why I say AD was the center of the team was he was. He was doing good when he was in. We did good. Now that last game when he played for 5 minutes and he went out because he was too injured. Yeah, whatever. That was he was so injured. It's like, you know how he was out for a few months, right? He was out for a few months and we were like, okay, and he had a strained groin, just like he played with the other night. That's like playing with the thing that you've been injured with for months. And so that's like playing with, let me see. That's like playing on the court with something you've just been resting for 3 months. So technically, he re-injured his groin. Technically, it was as bad as it first was. And so he was literally playing on something that was as bad as he it was to the extent where, I mean, he was jogging. He was like limping like this. He was like uh uh. No, like that's the thing. Like this guy, and I hats off to him because he got injured. Hold on, guys. He got injured, and it was funny because it's like the groin injury was like literally almost as bad as the one he had that he had been recovering from, but he still plays. So hats off to him because he still played through it, right? He still made a difference, tried to play through it, and I'm impressed. I really am impressed by this guy. He's very good. I like him a lot, and I'm sorry, he carried the team. When he was in, when he was aggressive, we did well, okay? We did well. We did well. So I I I am yeah, I was impressed by him. But let's get to the other players. Dennis Schroeder, okay? He did good in this last game, 20 points, but he could have done better. He could have done better. And if he would have been the type of player that is asking next year, remember, he's a free agent next year. If he would have been the type of player that is asking for 13 mil or something, fine, whatever. But it is blasphemous. I'm going to do a Stephen A. It is blasphemous to say that this guy is worth freaking 20 million a year for 100 million in 5 years. It is blasphemous, okay? That is just not happening. That is not right. Why does he want 20 million? If I'm going to say to him, go take a walk right now, bro, because no team is going to give you 20 million after your freaking performance in the playoffs. Like, that's not going to happen. I mean, it's not going to happen. We cannot give him 20 million. Okay, he had 20 this night, but guess what? He had 4 the last night. 4 the last night, okay? That's not acceptable. Okay? Now, LeBron didn't do that well either, but the whole team, not even LeBron, had fire in him. They didn't even have fire. Okay? The whole team really didn't have fire in him. It wasn't really good. I just didn't really like the atmosphere of the team. But shout out to Devin Booker. Shout out to him. I mean, really right now, I love Devin Booker right now. He played like a true baller. I was looking at the stat. The players to score the most against the Lakers in a playoff game. One guy had 51, one guy had 49, and one guy had 47. And the guy who had 47 was Devin Booker. He went off. And I mean, hats off to him, shout out to him. But what I'm just saying is our team absolutely freaking sucked without Anthony Davis. That's why he's the core of our team. And you don't need to tell me that Dennis Schroeder is worth 20. And I'm sorry, guys. I am really pissed right now. And I don't care if I'm letting something loose, but I'm really pissed because Dennis Schroeder is not worth $20 million. No way. He's not. He's just not. So if you liked my speech, whatever, but I'm unleashing it because Marc Gasol, 0 points. Oh, another player that I want to get, another person. This is not a player. This is a person, okay, that I want to get to. Frank freaking Vogel. Okay? This guy, I'm starting to question if he's actually a coach and a real good NBA coach. Because it's easy. I bet Luke Walton, our last coach, would have done good with LeBron James and Anthony. Anybody does good with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You're telling me that like people aren't going to do good with Anthony Davis and LeBron James? Hell no. People are going to do good with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It's just a known fact, right? And you're telling me that Anthony Davis, you're telling me that Frank Vogel still, well, I thought that a year ago. I love Frank Vogel. I thought he was this angel. But no, he's not. I mean, here's the thing. Good coaches like Steve Kerr or, the guy for the Warriors, they coach their way out of out of games. They coach their way into victory. And that's why I'm like, is this guy really? I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but a lot of Lakers fans are going to start questioning if he's a good coach. Because I would say that, yeah, I mean, people are going to start questioning it because you have LeBron still, you have an arsenal of players, and some people are saying, well, it doesn't really matter. You still have LeBron. No, it does because it matters about the rotations. And I believe starting Marc Gasol was not a smart idea. You should have started Andre Drummond. And so it matters about the rotations, the game plan. LeBron can't do that for you. He can't. LeBron's the type of player that's going to carry your team. He's going to be a leader. Now, I do have something to say to LeBron, but Lakers fans are going to start questioning Lakers. Lakers fans are going to start questioning if Frank Vogel is a real NBA coach because it's easy to win with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Now, LeBron James, I just want to quit. All respects. I thought he was the GOAT before this, but now I'm starting to question. Is he actually the GOAT? Like, is he actually the GOAT after this performance? He left the court earlier in Game 5 when they got blown out. It was Game 5. When they got blown out, he left the court early. Okay, people will do that, but in a playoff game? No, that's not acceptable. That's the thing. LeBron is good. He's great. But in a playoff game, it's like I'm a little pissed at him because in a playoff game, you walk off the court, don't act like a leader. Okay, we've already lost. Okay, but I was starting to question, like, is he the GOAT? And that's still a valid question. But now it's like, it's kind of a little bit more after this game. I guess he's getting older, but after this game, it's in question still. It's in question. So that's my Lakers rant. Yeah. I really, really was disappointed. But let's get to the next one. Clippers versus Mavericks. This series has all of a sudden turned really interesting because 2-0, you're down. Why is my green screen acting like a turd right now? You're down right now. You're down. It's 2-0. You're down about they were down 2-0. You come back, you win one, and then you win another one, and then you need another one. Hats off to them right now. It's hats off to them because I'm very impressed with the Clippers right now. Kawhi Leonard scoring, I think it was 47 last night. I really liked what the Clippers were doing last night. And who will win? It's going to have to depend on how much experience do they have in primetime. I actually think the Clippers are going to win this one, even though the Clippers do not, even though I don't like the Clippers, but I do actually think the Clippers are going to win this one. But this series has actually gotten really interesting all of a sudden because of the way they've come back, of the way they've shown that in the last few games that they can beat Luka Doncic. So this series has gotten really interesting. The next one, sorry guys, forgive me if I was ranting about like LeBron James and the Lakers. I just wanted to go off on a little rant there to say how pissed I was at my team. Bucks versus Net. To me, this is the biggest storyline for me. I still believe the Bucks are going to beat the Nets. I predicted this. I did. And the reason why, I'll give you a reason why. They have Chris Middleton. Great guy. But they are defense. They're defensively gritty. They're very picky. They are very how do you say it? They're very stingy on defense. Won't let anything go by. And the thing with me, and this is what I like about them the most, is what's the guy? Drew Holiday. I think he can shut down. He is one of the most premier defensive guards ever. And so I think he can shut him down. You have Giannis. They have more depth than the Nets. Okay. Now I guess it's not really about the depths in the playoffs because you really only play with an 8-man rotation in the playoffs, but it's very important. I think the Bucks, their defense is going to really destroy the Nets. And I think it's going to come down to game 7. But this game is that type of game where it is so interesting because there's so many variables with this game. It's the perfect matchup, second round matchup. Giannis versus the Clippers. I mean, Nets. No, Giannis versus Giannis versus Kevin Durant. James Harden versus Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton versus Kyrie Irving. It's just so interesting to me because this game is I loved it. I mean, this is probably the number one matchup to me. And I love the Bucks. They're a good team. So who will win though? I think it's going to be the Bucks in 7, but the home court advantage definitely helps the Nets. I think because of the Bucks defensive stinginess, I think it's really, really going to be important. Whoever has the better defense, the defense is going to be an important aspect of this. I think, I mean, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting series to watch. So let's go to the next one. Making another winner, because initially I believed in my Lakers. Call me biased. But really, you could argue that Anthony Davis, what is it? Anthony Davis, you could argue Anthony Davis, if he wouldn't have gotten injured, we would be past the first. We would have beaten them in 5 or 6. Anyone can argue that, and I think it's very true. You could argue that we would still be in big contention for the playoffs. You could argue that we would right now be playing the Nuggets. You could argue that, we could beat the Nuggets, and I think we would if Anthony Davis stays healthy, but that was the whole thing. One more thing that I forgot to say on my rant, and I'm sorry, guys, I was really pissed. I wanted to let some things out, but one more thing that I forgot to say on my rant is the Lakers, is their championship window closed? I would say not yet, but you have to put it in perspective. The older LeBron James, let's say last year when they won it, it was still this wide open. Okay? The older LeBron James gets, this year it closed about this much. Okay? The older he gets, the farther it closes. Because now he's 37. He's going into his 20th or 19th season. He's really playing. He's played well, but we could see that his injury, he needs rest because his ankle. Anthony Davis is good, but I definitely think that without LeBron, he's still a major leader in this team. So the older he gets, the farther the window closes. Obviously, the Lakers will continue to rebuild. They'll continue to build around Anthony Davis for the foreseeable future. But their window is closing. It went from here to here. That's what I've got to say about them. I mean, their window is – Stephen A. says their window is closed. I don't agree with that completely. But you do have the Nuggets. You do have the Trailblazers. You do have the Jazz, who are not going anywhere. You do have the Clippers. You have the Mavericks. So you have all these teams in the West, and then including the teams, the Bucks are always going to be in relevance. I think they learned from the previous years. That's why I think they definitely have a lot of playoff experience. And so it's going to get harder and harder. It really is. It's not going to get any easier at all. Like I said, the older LeBron gets, it went from being the window being here to here. The older LeBron gets, the older he is going, the more their window is going to close. So again, that's what I wanted to add to my like 11-minute rant earlier on in the show. Let's get back to picking a new winner because there's 3 comments. You're killing it. Fire. Whoa, goated. 100. Okay, cool. Anyways, picking a new winner. So I've thought about this one a lot, but this is a sleeper pick. Okay, this is a sleeper pick. That I really, really like. It's the Bucks. Their defensive stingency, their way to make it happen is crucial. It's really crucial. And they have had a lot of playoff experience losing. They brought in Drew Holiday, one of the best defensive guards. They are arguably one of the best teams. And I know the Nets, I know. But you have Giannis, you have Chris Middleton, a all-star. You have all of these guys. So I think that is a sleeper pick. Now, the Jazz looked very good. Would I say the Jazz? I don't know. I think it's going to be somebody from the East, but I do believe it's going to be Jazz versus Bucks, and the Bucks are going to win it. I think they're going to pull it out. I might be wrong on this one. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but yeah, I think that's who's going to win it. So that's my new winner. The Bucks are my new winner. And one more thing, just going back on the Lakers. Marc Gasol, 0 points. Kyle Kuzma, 2 points in 18 minutes. I'm done. The Lakers suck, and that's what I'm going to end it on, guys. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed the show. The Lakers they did not want this victory. Subscribe to my Patreon, The Camper Report. I am coming out with a new drone video soon. If you get the $5 plan, you get 1 month off of paying. I'm going to start rolling some stuff out. I'm going to give some tips for YouTube channels on there. So subscribe to it. It only takes $1. Peace out.